Hello everyone, Ladislas Maurice from the Wandering Investor in El Salvador, together with my lawyer here, Rodrigo. Rodrigo, how are you?
I'm fine and really excited to be here with you.
Fantastic. So we'll be discussing how to obtain residency in El Salvador, because increasingly people want to move here due to all of the economic reforms that are taking place. So Rodrigo, apart from the usual marriage and having a child and all of that, and a work permit, how else can people obtain residency here in El Salvador?
Well, it's easy, that question, because you have two other forms or two other ways to obtain a residency here in El Salvador. The first one is to be rentista, and the second one is to have a pension fund that is paying you money monthly.
Cool. So let's take the rentista. So what is the minimum amount of passive income that people must demonstrate to qualify for it?
Okay, for rentista is, let me see, $1,500 monthly as a passive income.
So rental income, dividends, royalties.
Trust funds, or you have a company that is outside that is paying you dividends, so you can come here in El Salvador to enjoy our beautiful country.
Cool, fantastic. And so let's say that I qualify for the Rentista visa. I contact you, you help me with the whole application, and let's say I want my wife and my children to be part of the application. Do I have to show more income? Is it complicated?
No, you cannot. It's not necessary to show more income. It's necessary to show that they are really your wife and kids, or your husband and kids.
What about my parents? Could they also qualify under this visa, or just spouse and children?
No, your parents as well can apply for it. Just also you need to prove that they are your parents.
Okay, so essentially marriage certificate, birth certificate, apostilled.
Yes, and an affidavit stating that you will take care of them while your permanency here in El Salvador.
Okay, and you help draft that affidavit?
Of course.
Okay, fantastic. What about the pensionado visa?
The pensionado visa is not different, just a little lower the monthly income. It's $1,100 roughly, and your families and your kids, your wife or your parents can come or can accompany you here in El Salvador. It's the same way you obtain your pension residency as your rentista residency.
Cool, fantastic. So for the pensionado, does the income have to come from a public pension fund, or can it also come from a private pension fund?
Good question. It can come both ways. You just need to prove to the notary public that will draft you the affidavit where the money comes from.
Clear.
So you have to bring those documents legalized until apostille.
Okay, so marriage certificate, proof of income, birth certificates, any criminal background checks?
Yes, for every residency, you need to bring your background checks duly legalized onto apostille. But I know that all of you out there are taking good care of you. And
let's say that I want to come here, but I don't qualify for the pensionado, I don't qualify for the rentista. Is there any other way that I can get residency here?
Yes, you can be an investor here in El Salvador. You can create an entity, a company, be the legal representative of such company, pay taxes, pay you a salary, do some invoicing,
and that's
basically.
It.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So run a small business, so easy. A lot of countries have this option, and you just need to, typically invoice a little bit, do a little bit of consulting. Money comes from overseas, and then you just, pay your taxes, and you're fine. Clear. Great. So let's say that I am now a resident. How long is this residency valid for?
It is valid for. There is a difference that we need to make here. If you are a person coming from Central America, but I think you're
not from Central America.
Yes,
here. Okay.
I was going to say that. We are aiming to all not Central American people, so it's 3 years. It's 3 years, and you have to renew it yearly.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you need to renew it yearly.
Okay, cool. So I come here, you help me get residency, I get a card with my family for 1 year.
Yes.
After 1 year, I come back to you, I'm like, Rodrigo, I want to renew it.
Yes.
How long will I have had to stay? What are the minimum presence requirements in El Salvador to be able to renew my residency?
Awesome, good question. The minimum time you have to stay here in El Salvador is for 8 months, and not to leave El Salvador for 3 months consecutively in a year.
Cool. So look, what this means is that for people hoping for paper residencies where they can just come here, get a residency, it's a plan B. They check in every 2 years to keep it active, kind of like Panama or Paraguay. This is not it. This will not work for you. El Salvadoran residency, as things stand, with these programs, and then the government we're discussing is thinking of launching new residency programs, yes, which may be more flexible, but as these programs come out, we'll be giving out updates. But the traditional programs, paths to residency, it's a plan A. It's for people who want to move here. So I arrived here in San Salvador Airport. They gave me immediately a 180-day tourist visa. So the reality is, if I want to spend less than half the year in El Salvador, I really don't need residency. So it's really for people who want to live here, like essentially almost permanently.
Yes.
Cool. So let's say I'm aiming for permanent residency. After how many years of properly maintaining my temporary residency can I apply for permanent residency?
3 years. 3 years, you have your temporary residency, and then on the 3rd year, you can apply and submit your application for permanent residency. And after 5 years of you doing your life here, you can apply for citizenship here in El Salvador.
Cool. Let's say you help me apply for permanent residency. I get it. Do I still have to spend at least 8 months a year and not leave the country for more than 3 months at a time to maintain my permanent residency?
No, for your permanent residency is easier. It's easier for you to go out El Salvador. You can be out of El Salvador with your permanent residency for 2 years.
Okay, so check in once every 2 years to
yes,
keep the PR.
You can come once in those years. Once a year you can come here to El Salvador, and you will maintain in your permanency residency.
Okay,
permanent
cool.
residency.
Once every 2 years. Okay,
yes.
Cool. Now, let's say I do 3 years of full residency, temporary. Then once I get my permanent residency, I'm gone. I go traveling, I do other stuff. At year 5, I come back, I apply for citizenship. Would this work, or will they tell me, well, actually, yes, you maintained residency in those last 2 years, but you weren't living here really enough to qualify for citizenship?
As you said on your last option, you need to be here in El Salvador for your last 5 years, because you will have to prove that your life is here.
Cool. Here. And is dual citizenship allowed in El Salvador?
It depends from your nationality and your home country. Here in El Salvador, we allow dual citizenship if your home country allows it. If not, you will have to resign one and adopt a Salvadorian residency.
Cool, fantastic. So you've helped a lot of people obtain residency, your law firm, here in El Salvador?
Yes, we help a lot of people obtaining their residencyship here in El Salvador, mostly working permits and people who bring their family with them to work here in El Salvador, but we can help anybody who wants to come here and live in El Salvador.
Okay, cool, fantastic. Look, so if you want more information on how to obtain residency in El Salvador, there is a link below, and then this way you will be able to get in touch with Rodrigo. He'll be able to help you from A to Z, as well as with real estate law, if you were to make a purchase here in El Salvador. Rodrigo, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Make sure to download my free ebook, 12 Mistakes to Avoid When Investing in International Real Estate, which you can find on my website, linked below, and feel free to follow me on Instagram @TheWandering Investor. I look forward to hearing from you.